Okay, my lovely friends, we made it. It's Friday, April 1st, 2022. Where to start? How about with this? The debt market is yet again flashing a signal. What is that signal? It's not that a market crash is about to hit us, but a no confidence vote. What have we been hearing as of late from the mainstream propaganda ministry? Yield curve inversion, blah, blah, blah. Look, most people don't even understand what this stuff is or means. The fact of the matter is, our economy, despite the news that we got this morning, and we're going to cover that in a moment, our economy here in the United States, actually globally, is in free fall. Henceforth, why central banks continue to print cash out of thin air, add it to digital screens, buy everything. But we're great. We're doing phenomenal. Look, a lot of this is propaganda. The propaganda war between the United States and China and the United States and Russia, it necessitates that they push the narrative, and it's the false narrative, that our economy is booming, our economy is strong. Meanwhile, part of the information that we got this morning here was there's several components to this, and I want to touch on that too. But with regard to the no confidence vote, yes, that is the fact that we're seeing inversions in this yield curve. So this morning, we got this apparently good non-farms payroll number, which actually missed the mark, okay? But it was so good, this number, apparently, that we watched the yield curve immediately invert yet again. That means we're seeing short-term yields rise above long-term yields. That's a no confidence vote in the economy, and our economy is done. It's dead. We also found this out too. It's astonishing to me. They actually say these things and they expect people to think it's a good thing. So we found out that last month wages came up 0.4%. Generally, that would be a pretty good move. However, based against inflation, the current rate of inflation near 8%, do the math. Real wages are cratering at their fastest pace ever in history here in the United States. We've never seen anything like it, but this is great and it's tremendous. You know that. How do you know that? Because the mainstream propaganda ministries are telling you. Duh. People make it up. Make any of this stuff up. Is it possible to do? Anyway, so on the back of this, clearly, a no confidence vote in the economy, which has been going on for a while. That's really what the yield curve is telling us, okay? Forget about anything else. It's not leading up to a market crash anytime soon. People, nobody out here, nobody on YouTube or anywhere else understands, I think, the market dynamics, what's driving this better than you do, okay? The yield curve inversion, whatever. We already know our economy is done, it's finished, and that's all. And it's going to continue to prop it up with more easy money. I'm talking about the stock market. The disconnect between the freaking free fall economy and the stock market, that gap is going to continue to get wider, and the market is going higher. There's no doubt about it, because easy money and more debt is coming. That's just going to continue to float this market on a larger ocean of debt. And at one particular point, yeah, it's going to go off. It's a time bomb. You all know that. But for now, look, until that 10-year yield spikes, I don't know how to say this another way, we will continue to do exactly what we are doing, okay? Betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank. Let them play their games with gold and silver and cryptocurrencies as well. In my view, gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies are massively suppressed right now, yes. Even though Bitcoin is around 45,000, a little over that, yes. In my view, it's going much, much higher, much, much higher when that debt market implosion occurs. You know that. We're going to get a tsunami of cash just moving from one set of assets into another. And that's going to go into physical assets, commodities, and yes, cryptocurrencies in my view. Anyway, so I was just, writing some stuff down. So, the news this morning. U.S. savings rate is plummeting. People can't save a dime because they're dealing with inflationary pressures like they never have before. People continue to borrow beyond their eyeballs with personal debt and household debt skyrocketing out of control. But we're doing great. We're doing so well. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The unemployment rate dropped on the back of this miss with non-farm payrolls. People, look, it's impossible to make this stuff up. But it's so out of control here. It really is. Let's go back to this market. So on the back of all this, we have stock futures right now, which are slightly higher, pointing towards a gain at the open. We have gold and silver under a little bit of pressure here. We have the 10-year yield came up a little bit, 2.42 last time that I looked at it. And the dollar right now is slightly higher. It's today's setup for the market isn't really great, but it's not horrible. So we'll see what happens today. Look, we had yesterday a sell-off in this market. A day before that, also a sell-off in this market. Look, my take on this. Market needs to give back a little bit to establish a new floor and go higher. We've gone literally straight up, people, from the recent low. And in order for any asset class, an entire market to make another move higher, it has to give back a little bit, establish a new floor, and go up. That's what always happens. And in my view, the market is going much, much higher because the debt is going much, much higher. People, as I have explained to you since I don't know how long, forever, really, you're going to see things that you're not going to believe moving forward. Reasons to continue to pull cash out of the future, to suck it from future generations, just to sustain where we are right now. The debt-based economic model demands that happens in greater and greater amounts. So again, wars, expansions of wars, and whatever else they got to do to make sure the debt-based model continues to flow, rates stay suppressed, and people suffer, that mechanism is going to stay in place. And you know that better than anybody. That's why we have to turn the tables on everyone. We have to weaponize the system against those that are literally trying to kill us. Anyway, so that's the story this morning. It's kind of interesting. Again, like I said, this non-farms payroll, it's supposed to be great, although we missed the mark. Savings rate plummeting. People can't make ends meet. They continue to borrow. This is that mechanism that you and I knew from years ago would play out. That is this creation of a new feudal system, a two-tier society. It's very frightening in some ways for me to see this play out, because you and I knew this from I don't know how many years ago that this would happen, and it is, and it's going to accelerate here by design. That's the mechanism here. Central banks in collusion with puppet governments are going to continue to destroy people and kill them as well. That's really what is going on here. And the mechanism is very obvious to me, and I am sure it is to you as well. Oh, I forgot to cover crude oil. Crude oil is again under some pressure on this strategic reserves release 1 million barrels a day in an economy that uses 20 million per day. And then we got Saudi Arabia, the promise that they're going to increase production. We'll see how all this plays out moving forward. But in my view, we are in the very early stages of yet another crisis. Imagine my shock. And that is going to be an energy crisis and also a food crisis, which we keep hearing about, food shortages, catastrophic, according to the United Nations. People are going to starve, social unrest. Do you think really that, look what they're doing. They're setting it all up. This is all going to occur. It is, obviously, in certain parts of the world, but in developed nations around the world, even here in the United States, people are going to feel the pinch of food shortages. I have no doubt about it, and skyrocketing energy. All right, people, look, I think that's it for this morning. However, one more thing. Today is the first of the month, and the first of every month, I humbly ask for your support. If you think I'm doing a good job, if you want to support my work, and I hope you choose to do that, I have a link in the description, 2 links actually in the description of this video. And again, on the first of every month, I ask you to send me $5. Greg is doing a good job. I want to support his work. So if you are so inclined, and I really hope you are, please click on the link down here to send me just $5. If you want to send me cryptocurrency, I love cryptocurrencies. There's also a link for that as well. People, this guy here loves you a lot. I got your back. You know that. And I hope you have mine, and you can show your support again by sending me $5. Support my work. All right. Love all of you. Please share the video, and I will see you later.